We are getting ready to start Global Champions League Round 2 in a few moments' time, and there were some remarkable performances that came out of that opening round of GCL. The likes of the Paris Panthers jumping double clear, the Scandinavian Vikings jumping double clear. We're going to talk about the teams, we'll talk about the changes, and hopefully get some reaction from the coursework that is officially underway for the second round. Some sun bursting out over the southern part of the Netherlands as well, which is great for the upcoming second round. Let's show you the results of GCL round 1 and remind you as to how things ended coming now into that second round. As mentioned, only 3 double clears. The Kunststars powered by the Iron Dames amongst the Paris Panthers and the Scandinavian Vikings as the only 3 teams to jump double clear. An elimination for Madrid Emotion, which was frustrating, and a lot of teams finding themselves on a single fence down. The likes of the Shanghai Swans in particular, who continue with their championship hunt on those top teams. Valkenswaard United as well, the clear for Gilles Thomas. Hansi Flick having a, not Hansi Flick, he's a football coach, my word, Hans-Dieter de Deer having a fence down as well. He wouldn't mind if I call him Hansi Flick, it's okay. Sarah Winkelkova had a fantastic round as well, by the way, jumping clear on not a 9-year-old, on an 8-year-old in the opening round, which I think is just very difficult to describe how good that is. Sarah, welcome to the studio. This is very nice to have you here. Can you try and describe your 8-year-old to us? Because by the sounds of things, that's not a normal 8-year-old, is it?
No, he's definitely not. I have him very shortly in my stable.
Yeah.
Started to ride him only since May. He's just an exceptionally good horse, such a good mentality. He loves the game, he loves the sport. And I think that's what makes him so special. Like just being so cool, coming to the GC round. It's a 155 class and he just jumps around it like it's a daily base thing.
So only 8 years old, you've barely had him for a couple of months and already you are jumping GCL rounds like this. You were telling me that this actually makes life difficult sometimes because you maybe want to overshoot a little bit with him. Is that the case? How do you reel him back? Because I'm sure he will make you believe that he's ready to just go jump massive stages.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a little bit his good and also bad point at the same moment, because he's so cool and he's just so easygoing with this level. So sometimes you get a feeling like, okay, let's ride him bigger, let's ride him the Grand Prix, you know, he's just so good. And I'm sure that he would do it, but it's just...
You need to be careful, right? For people that are listening to this, I'm sure that they are well aware of why being with great horsemanship is important. So explain to someone why, even if he looks like he can, that you don't want to get any damage there, you don't want to break him, you need to make sure that he is correctly looked after, right, going forward? Yeah,
exactly, and especially like for his mentality, they have to feel coming out of the ring like, wow, I did a good job, you know, like today he felt good about it. But if you jam him in the Grand Prix and he gets 2 down, he gets himself a little bit disappointed, and that's why we have to keep them happy and we have to keep the mind of the horse just positive. And that's something that we have to sing ourselves as a rider. Is my horse ready for it? Is it the right moment to do it? And it's just way too early for 8 years old to step higher than this.
The fact that he is willing to go there for you and has the ability, seemingly, of what we saw already today, tells you that there is a very bright future here. Talk to him about years round as well, the double clear for the Scandinavian Vikings. This is a crucially important day for a team that maybe hasn't succeeded the way they wanted to in 2025?
With the team, we had a very difficult season till now, I think. A couple of times we have been very unlucky. We missed some of our best horses. So today was amazing, the first round. I really hope for them to keep it good for the second round, because I'm not jumping the second round anymore. It's Jur and Amanda. So I will just give them my support and I hope they will do it well.
What has the conversation been like in between the rounds? Has there been some phone calls? Has there been some team conversations amongst each other? What is the talk between round 1 and round 2?
Yeah, we were of course really happy with the round 1 result. Like jumping a double clear is just amazing performance. But now we have to step with the feet back on the ground again and try our best, because it's still, the game is not finished. A lot can happen in the second round. We saw it already many times happening, that some teams after first round, they have amazing result and then something happens in the second round. So yeah, we just have to stay concentrated and do our best again.
You were very early to walk the course. Course walk officially underway. A lot of the riders now busy with it. What have you walked? Talk to us about what your team members will expect in this upcoming second round. What stands out for you? What looked tricky?
I think the course is built in a very fair way. It's big enough. It always is as a second team competitions. The course is tricky enough. There are a few fences that maybe gonna be a little bit more tricky. We can see a little bit more faults on them. But in general, I think we will also see quite many clear rounds.
Okay, well, best of luck for the team for the upcoming round. Fantastic in round one. And hopefully Scandinavian Vikings is on the podium later tonight, maybe?
That would be amazing.
That would be the plan. That would be an amazing outcome. As it stands now, they are only one of 3 double clears. Scandinavian Vikings very late to go in GCL round 2. And according to Sara, a very fair course to come and maybe some clears. Would that be another one for Scandinavian Vikings? That would be an outstanding result. Rosie Turner standing by for us in the arena. Rosie, let's talk about changes. I hand it over to you. Take us through for GCL round 2 and point out some of the bigger moves for us. Who has done what? What can we expect in this upcoming second round?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. The start list has actually only just come out, so I've only just managed to get my eyes on it. But we've only got 2 teams that are making no changes whatsoever, and that is the current leading team, Paris Panthers, who come in with the same riders and the same horses, and why not? They were on fire in the first round, and both said to me that both horses feel fantastic for the second round. As we expect, Riesenbeck International make no changes either. Christian Kukuk just having that final fence down with George, but super unlucky, and hopefully can go one better into round 2. If we start at the top of the list with Monaco Comets, powered by Iron Dames, we've got Edwina Tops Alexander coming in. She brings in Fellow. Yoli Mitalaneo is back in again with her new horse, La Perla. And then New York Empire, we've got Bertram Allen coming in. Scott Brash stays in with Hello Mango as well, who had a brilliant round, just one down at the beginning. Basel Cosmopolitans, Andrea Scow comes in with a different horse, and we're seeing Geraldine back on the team again. We haven't seen her since Madrid. She's been doing her A-levels. She's been very much part of the team throughout, but now her focus is very much back on the team. So it's really wonderful to see her coming in for round 2. Saint-Tropez Pirates, we see Max Watchman coming in and Duarte as well. And we've got lots of changes throughout, and I have to say Istanbul Warriors just make a horse change with Simon de Lest. Henrik comes back in with his young mare. 8 in the first round, 2 downs. But hopefully in round 2 he can clear that up a little bit and hopefully have a clean sheet. Mexico Amigos as well, Carlos Hank comes in. So we've got a few changes there, Mark, but I'm surprised to see just only 2 teams making no changes at all. But what a day it could be for Paris Panthers. No changes. Could they stay where they are right now?
Oh, it would be a remarkable story. And having just heard from the Scandinavian Vikings as well, can you imagine for those teams that are struggling at the bottom end of the table to produce potential podium performances at the end of GCL round 2? It would absolutely upset the apple cart as far as the Global Champions League is concerned and really shake things up, at least towards the bottom half of the table. Right, Rosie, go on and get some riders for us. We look forward to chatting to you a little bit more, giving us some insight as to what has taken place between round 1 to round 2. And as she said, only 2 teams that have not made changes. One of those, no surprises ever. If you are new to this, it is something to teach you, somewhat of a team tradition. At Riesenbeck International, generally 9 times out of 10 do not make any changes from GCL round 1 to GCL round 2. They believe in consistency, and that is the case once again for them, as we see Weishout and Kukuk, Max this time, of course, coming out with Christian for GCL round 2 and Riesenbeck International later on tonight. Speaking of some reaction, speaking of some thoughts, Simon de Lestre has a word with us and gives us his thoughts on what to expect from GCL round 2.
Round 1, Henrik just having 2 down and brings in the same horse, but a different horse for Simon in round 2. Tell us a little bit about who you're bringing in.
Yeah, I'm going to ride the NASCAR, the last horse from Peter de Vos. I have not so much experience with him, but the horse has a lot of experience already jump here in the Grand Prix, so I'm not really worried. Just have a good plan to save a clear run for the team. Yeah, we are in a very delicate line because we come from the right, and then we are, you know, when the horse jump from the right. They really want to go a little bit short on the left behind. And then we have the palanque, so we had really to open. It's nine step, 9 stride.
Well, but before we walk that, actually, I just want to have a look at this fence, because for those people that don't know, it might look like we've set this up wrong, but it is correct.
Yeah, this is really correct, but the horse normally give a huge jump on this, and then the distance after comes really short, because it's a palanque, so it's a very delicate vertical.
Okay, let's walk this. So as you can see, we've gone from the uneven oxer there, which is built correctly, as Simon said, and then you have to swing quite wide round here, you said, Simon.
The thing, you will have a big jump normally on this oxer, and then the palanque is a very delicate jump. So for my plan, it's really to go outside, to be a little bit cautious with 9 stride, because the problem behind this palanque, we have a combination oxer vertical with a 5 stride little bit forward. So you had to save the palanque, you had to push a little bit for the 5, and then you have 2 short inside. So you come from this oxer with a big jump, and you finish with a very delicate vertical going out of the line.
So you need a horse that's really going to listen to you as well. Let's just see how delicate this is. We can get up close with this plank, because you can see it's on a flat cup there.
This you cannot touch. So you really need to save this jump, but the problem, when you save too much, you had to push for the 5 after this jump. And when you push for the 5, then you have a problem in the middle of the combination, because it's too short. 2 stride short on a vertical, delicate. So you need to save the jump, this jump, but not too much, that you can have a normal 5 after this, and then you can wait for the 2 in the middle of the combination.
And as you said, you haven't had that much experience with this horse in terms of the way the striding is. It's a big stride or smaller striding horse?
It's a big stride, yeah. But after you had to adapt. When you have a smaller stride, you go a little bit more in the inside, and then the thing, you had to jump this vertical very slow, but not you still need space in front, that you land far enough for the 5 after.
It's going to be a very technical course, isn't it? It's going to be a technical round 2. But Simon, thank you so much for walking the course for us. We wish Simon and the rest of the team a good luck for round 2, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Simon de Lestre.
From Simon de Lestre, the man from the Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem Equestrian Team. He jumped a beautiful clear in GCL round 1 with Golden Boy DK. What is the case then going to be for that second round for the Istanbul Warriors? We'll find out in a few moments' time. Interestingly, if things were to stop right now, how much movement, how much change would there be in the GCL overall rankings? What would happen to Valkenswaard United because of the Kanstars' double clear? What happens with the Paris Panthers, who are now currently leading Scandinavian Vikings? Can they make up ground? What happens to Madrid Emotion with 0 points following their elimination? Well, this is what the change would look like. Valkenswaard would jump down to 2nd place. New championship leaders in the Kanstars, powered by the Iron Dames. Razorback International, powered by Horse Gym, would jump up to 5. They then begin to seriously knock on the door of a GCL Super Cup semi-final. Madrid, because of that elimination, begin to drop down, and it's on the 2nd page, thanks to the Scandinavian Vikings and the Paris Panthers, that we see some movement there as well. Both of those lower-ranked teams performing superbly well here in GCL round 1. Vikings, unfortunately, believe it or not, because of what's happened then with the Paris Panthers, would then see themselves still move down to the bottom of the table. Doha Falcons would drop. Stockholm Hearts, how is it that a team of their horsepower, their talent and experience is down in 15th? But they too would drop, as the Monaco Comets, who've had a very difficult GCL round 1 as well. 20 penalties for them in that opening round. This is a virtual ranking after round 1. If we were to press stop right now and not even jump GCL round 2, if things were to end as they are, that is what the new overall rankings would look like. And that makes for a pretty interesting viewing ahead of GCL round 2. Interesting to get the thoughts of Ludger Beerbaum as well. Razorback International, as mentioned, looking to try and knock on the door for that GCL Super Cup. Hopefully we can catch up with Ludger at some stage today to try and get his thoughts. But as we get ready for GCL round 2, the bell rings and the action begins. Let's go and get started into the second half of the day. The second round of Global Champions League is next.
Welcome back to Valkenswaard. The sun is coming out. We're getting ready for the second leg of the GCL competition. This is Article 23821 against the clock 1 meter 60 competition. We're going to start off with 37. We're going to start off with the individual riders first, and then we'll get into the team competition. So we look forward to that. They're out walking the course at the moment. The last few touches are being made. As you can see, the flags are still flying. It's a little bit cloudy. Sun is breaking through. 19 degrees, 55% humidity, slight breeze, 13 kilometers an hour. A few gusts every now and then just to keep us on our toes and keep us awake. Everybody's in position. We had a nice break now between the first leg, and we've stacked everybody, so they're going to come back in reverse order of merit. We see a few changes to the teams, and obviously that we'll talk about as it happens. So a lot of work been done here in the last hour or so, changing up the previous course, the 155 first leg. Julian Vicenzi and his team have been busy, and now we have a new course that we're going to go through now in a second. This is a 1 meter 60 track, so we're up another step. There he is, this the maestro. Had a great result in the first competition. So the length of the course 520 meters, time allowed 84 seconds, obstacles 13 numbered obstacles with 16 jumping efforts. So a lot for them to jump for, but there's a lot at stake here. And as I say, when we go and look at the team in particular, and the positions that they're in, so there's a lot at stake here. This is the 10th leg of the league, 10th of 15, so there's a lot to be played for. We got a number of teams who've performed particularly well up to now, who have got their nose in front and want to stay there. We also have a number of teams who are under a little bit of pressure and don't want to get left behind, and to be fair, they've come out all guns blazing into this morning's competition. So you can see different reactions from people walking the course. So we'll have a number of riders who've jumped this morning, who've stepped down for this afternoon, and a number of riders who've changed horses. So there's a lot to play for. Everybody's gone out now and had a look at this track. The ground is absolutely superb here. The horses have jumped brilliantly this morning. So that definitely won't be an excuse. And as I say, the sun is just starting to break through, and that's going to make for a very pleasant afternoon sport. Out in the warm-up arena, they're getting down to business. Vertigo's up to about 1 meter 40. Oxer's maybe a little bit bigger, and then somebody starting on the small Oxer on the far side. Bassam had a good run in the first round. He's nice and relaxed, so they know their timings. Their draw has been made. They come back in reverse order of merit. We have the individuals first, so this is a Grand Prix qualifier for those that have come out in the first class. So the running order, we'll have Niels Roussels is coming in first, Sanja Tyson, Kevin Jochems, Harry Smulders, Katrin Eckermann, Mary Gabrielli Gasso, Oliver Philipparts, Philip Weisep. Some of these we've seen in the team, and they've now dropped down into individuals. Hassan Senturk, Michael van der Vleuten, Carl Perzoli, Max Kuhner, Kevin Stout, Cian O'Connor, Michael Grave, Baz Moorings, Yuri was first to go this morning. Philip Rosier was on the team. Jenny Sardan, Kim Emin was on a team. William Grave, Edwina Tops Alexander, Elie Metelot, Bertram Allen. So then 25th, Scott Brash, Sterling Struman. Now we're into the teams. Andres Schuh, Max Watchman, Duarte, Guillaume, Basim Mohammed, Malin Bayard Johnson, Nicola Philipparts. Similar to what we've had this morning, the teams will come in together. So Henrik von Eckermann, Simon Deleuze, Carlos Hanguero, Eduardo Pereira Menendez, Maximilian Weisep, and then down towards the end, Gilles Thomas, Fernando Martinez Sommer, Peter DeVos, Ben Mayer, Daniel Dicer, Emmanuel Gardiano, Roy Van Beek. He had a lovely clear round this morning, we'll remember. Jörg Vreeling, that grey stallion, comes in on a different horse now. Sophie Hinners, Julia Martinez, she's third last to go. So sign is set. This fantastic Longines Tops International Arena looks absolutely superb. Definitely a few spots left in the stand, but I'm sure as soon as the first horses come in, there won't be too many places for people to sit down. Malin Bayard Johnson there in the stand. So first rider comes in, and this again is going to create a lot of interest. All the teams will have their spotters out to try and see what the way this track is going to ride. It's a table A, so it's against the clock, but for sure for the teams, they're going to try and be getting their best placings. These guys need to get into the Grand Prix, so they're all going to be clear round counts and then as fast as you can. So up on the walkway into the VIP section, it gives a bird's eye view, and you can see discussing tactics already. So first in we have Niels Broussels, ranked number 205 in the world, rides for the Prague Lions, but on this occasion now he's an individual. This is an 11-year-old gelding. So we're starting in the opposite direction from the first fence this morning. So we're coming down the arena from the pocket. Bell is gone, so obviously the shot clock is in order as well, so they'll have 30 seconds. So you can see every vantage point being taken here. Orgi VD Vesberg in good form, gives a little buck as he comes past the pocket and down to the first fence. It's a good distance then on a bending line, right-handed. So he goes 10 strides there, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across the middle. Very tall vertical. And now you swing left-handed to an unusual fence. See the colours on it, difficult to differentiate. And then we water tray. And into the combination. 7 strides, slight bend left. 2 strides, 1 stride, Oxer coming out. And you can see moves up now to this tall, the Prague Playoffs, tall vertical down the end of the arena. So really well ridden, gallop down at it, turn back from the pocket to what we call as a staggered oxer, so it's higher on the left, lower on the right, and then reverse on the back pole. Unusual, we don't see it that often. And now he waits up for the last double, oxer in, 2 strides to a tall vertical, and now left-handed. And this tall Longians plank in the bottom corner again, very influential in the first leg. So this is a really solid performance. So jumps this big oxer. 6 strides up here to the tall vertical, really full gate, looks like the entrance to Stall Tops, and the last fence coming up. So 75-1-2, sorry, 75-1-7, and a clear round. That's a great start to the competition. So let's see who's going to take that on now. Obviously trying to qualify for the Grand Prix on Sunday is the priority today. And then the small matter of €105,500 prize fund. So not to be sneezed at for sure. So these riders very competitive. They'll want to pay some bills. So really nice horse. Super job from this 11-year-old. Really kept his concentration all the way out. Really balanced all the way through. Niels will be very happy with that. This day, Prague Lions could have probably done with that clear round, but they've chosen to go. So next up, we know this little horse, previous winner in this arena. Great little character. He's now 19 years of age. Conquet Dam RB, Sanya Tyson in the play. She's ranked number 69 in the world. This little fella is so full of energy. He's just a joy to watch. The enthusiasm he brings to the sport is amazing. But what a partnership. Just naturally quick. I don't think they know how to go slow. It's not in their repertoire. He just wants to gallop and run. And in fairness, you know, they've got such a partnership. They know themselves, know each other so well. She's able to make the adjustments. She knows when to trust him. She knows when he really needs the help. So super here in the combination. You can see, look, might be 19 years of age, but he's still as fresh as it can be. Great credit to the grooms and the staff, you know, looking after these guys. They just love the sport. Now she jumps this a little bit on the angle. Front rail's a little bit lower on the left, so that helps her. Now slow up, little fella, wait. 6 strides up to the oxer. On the bending line, that was really unlucky. Now this tall vertical, he's jumped this plenty of times. He knows what to do. Very good with his body. So sits up now. This is a very big oxer. And now you can see that bending line has a really formidable fence here with the clock tower on the right hand side, big gate on the left, and really light pole. Unfortunately, 2 fences down. Really good time, 70.17, sorry, 70.71. But unfortunately, 2 fences on the floor. We're going to have to wait and see. We'll get another opportunity to qualify. I would expect we'll see this young lady in the Grand Prix on Sunday. Yeah, she just looks back up the arena. You can see, doesn't have a martingale on him. Rides him in a little elevator. Look at his ears pricked, and he pats the ground with his front feet. He's such a little trier. Sometimes just his exuberance just gets the better of him and just makes it difficult to get him in the right place. Just up on this distance into the double, I think. Yeah, I just got a little bit too forward in his body. You can see his ears, you can see his mind. All he wants to do is gallop and jump. So next in, Kevin Jochems, Cosito van de Hel. This is a 10-year-old gelding. Jumps this big oxer now. 7 strides up to that tall vertical, and now back around the arena. Going for a clear round, obviously. Not going to go too quick. 6 strides up to the combination. 2 strides in. 1 stride for big oxer. And then 8 strides up to that really tall vertical again. And we had a similar line this morning in the first leg, and it proved really difficult up to a double. Horses just wandered a little bit on the line or got out of balance, but I think the riders have now thought about it a little bit, and it's be interesting to see how they approach that. Bending line across here to the double, very, very slight angle jumping into the corner with a water tray coming out. So great use of materials and positioning of the fences by Juliano. And I think we're going to see a few horses, you know, make small mistakes in there that are going to prove really costly. Kevin's really holding this together now. I say this is a very formidable fence, the second last. And a big oxer to finish. Only 3 poles in front. Sucks you up to the corner of the arena. 78.57, clear round. Yeah, he's hoping that's going to get him into the Grand Prix on Sunday. Puts him into second place, but we're very early in this class. A lot to happen yet before we get to sort them all out. Yeah, nice horse. You can see loads of scope and good technique as well. Nice way of going. Ears pricked. Great use himself. Look where he puts his front legs. You know, tackles this course really, really nicely. Yeah, unusual for an 11-year-old to have such dapples still. Sorry, 10-year-old. So normally by that stage they've gone quite white. So I'm sure for the grooms it's makes life a little bit easier. They appreciate it. Next to go, formidable pairing. Harry Smoller is on the 16-year-old Evervest in Monaco. This horse has been there and done that. Real big jumping horse. He's been in all the big arenas in the world. So not on a team this year, so competing here as an individual. So you can see very, very quick. Harry, one of the fastest riders on the circuit, always very competitive. But look, the rapport that he has and the experience that he has with this horse, he's going to use that to his advantage now and see if he can actually nick the podium off everybody else in this as an individual. Floats up the distance here. You can see, just makes a little alteration at the end. Unfortunately, that 8-stride distance just opens the horse up and got the balance a little bit wrong. Jumps across the angle on fence number 7, the Longines Oxer. And up to this now. Up to 5 strides into the corner. Water tray, no problem to Monaco. Uses all his experience. Now, yeah, he keeps coming. He knows there won't be a ton of clear rounds. He wants to be in the Grand Prix for sure. Sits up to this tall vertical. Yeah, really sits back on his hocks. You can see how well he done that. And now gets straight, gives him plenty of space, a little encouragement. 73.03. Time is very good. But unfortunately, 1 fence down. Yeah, look, a 16-year-old horse. He's been around. He's done plenty. Great to see him in the ring. He actually looks a picture. Great shine off his coat. Just a very slight touch. As I say, there's a long run down to that having come out of the combination. The horse is just getting a little bit on their head. You have to sit him back up and make the alteration. But if you do that, it's going to take time, and it's risk versus reward. Yeah, Harry looks back. That's not a mistake that he would have expected Monaco to make. He would have expected him to sit up and be a little bit more attentive. Catherine Eckermann came out and did a brilliant job for her team this morning, or this afternoon in the first leg. So now riding Iron Dames DU Blue PS. This is a 12-year-old mare by Diorado's Blue. So she's ranked number 83 in the world. I say she was foot perfect this morning. Made a great contribution. Now this big oxer down here. How brave, how tight do you want to turn up to it? And now the combination. Again, look at the colour of these poles. It's really difficult. Horses really have to concentrate. Done that wonderfully. And now, whoa, whoa. Yeah, horse is lovely and careful. So, comes back from the pocket, jumps just a little bit on the angle from left to right. And then stays out, straightens up. Yeah, horse is very good. Fabulous bascule over the fence, the way the horse uses herself. Okay. Now, tall. This is full max height, 1.60 m. This horse is a superb vertical jumper. Really trusted. And down to second last fence. Here we go. This is very good. Clear round coming up, I expect. Unfortunately, commentator scores. Yeah, just there's a little bending line on that. Yeah, she wanted to keep coming, trying to. 73.70 was the time. Knew she wanted to be a little bit quicker. What a pity. You just watch it here in the double. Watch the technique here again. Just holds her off the front rail. Look what she does with her hind legs. Lovely mare. This is the last jump. Whoa, how did that happen? Here we see it in slow motion. She was outstanding behind all the way through. Really used her back end. We saw her in the previous fence open up behind and give it maybe 18 inches. That time, unfortunately, just didn't give it the space that it needed. Okay, 13-year-old gelding by Jetor Flamenco, ridden by Maria Gabriela Brugal-Gasso. So, rode again. She's a part of the Rome Gladiators team. Starts off on a really nice rhythm. Lovely scopy horse. You can see he's got a net mesh over his nose. Some of these horses are very sensitive. Flies are annoying them, and they just put a mesh on them so that the flies can't actually get at their whiskers and irritate them. You really want the horses to concentrate. If they keep their head nice and still, it makes riding them so much easier. She's gone a little bit wider here back to the 7th fence. She wants to get a clear round and make sure she's in the reckoning for the Grand Prix. Lovely balance ride here. And as you say, Juliano's used these slightly offset jumps to try and get the horses drifting a little bit left or right. He makes it a real challenge for the riders. As soon as you land, you've got to get your horse onto the line to the next fence, and that's so challenging. Unfortunately, that big tall lunge is 1.60 m vertical has just claimed another victim. Last fence coming up. Really good over the last jump. Again, with that tall vertical down the very far end of the arena. 4th last obstacle. Unfortunately, Jetor Flamenco put in a good effort there, but unfortunately, not to be today. Yeah, you can just watch him there now on the way down, sort of 3 strides out. He just shakes his head a little bit, and he just keeps his head a little bit higher than he needs to do just to jump that big fence. There's only the slightest in it. So, gets a good pat, but he'll be back here again. Oliver with just him. This is a 16-year-old stallion by Toulon. Ranked 151 in the world. He partnered his twin brother in the first leg this afternoon in the 155. So out here now as an individual. Rides for the Stockholm Hearts. Looking for his Grand Prix qualification. Looking for some prize money as well, I suspect. Comes across the middle. You can see this big Orca straight away into this course. Juliana there's no let up from the very beginning. It's 1.60 m. And jump your first 3 fences and you have to really get down to business. Puts a lot of leg on coming off the corner, and now has to make an adjustment for the combination. Sits a sit up. Very well done. Horse really reacted well. Now he doesn't want to get too close to that vertical, and again keeps coming through the corner. Reasonable line, not gone too wide, giving his horse every chance. Not going to gamble too much on this round. Up on the 5 strides and the 2 strides. 7 strides across there if you come up on that inside to that plank and try and keep it as smooth as Olivier did there. That was perfect riding, beautifully done. Now, narrow oxer to this really imposing fence. Checks the horse's bravery. You don't want him to get at it, and you don't want him to back off it either. Last fence, nice clear round. in a reasonable time. 75.29. Yeah, puts him into second place at the moment. Yeah, he's going to have to see who's going to be really brave and try to take this class on. There's a lot at stake. There's serious prize money, but there's also Grand Prix qualification, and then obviously we get into the teams, and that's a whole different ball. Current standings: Niels Brussel's in the lead, 75.17, and Olivier Philippart's in second place. He's on 75.29. So Uliano there in the middle, just making sure everything's where it's supposed to be. And our next rider in, Philip Weissert and Kilminster. This is a 9-year-old by Diarado. He rode for Reisenberg International earlier on. So back here now, they've had a team change up. Hugely talented rider. You can see just keeps coming through the corner. It probably takes about 4 strides less than some of the earlier riders around there, and then just floats up to the combination. Whoa, has to sit back. Horse is extraordinary there. We need to go back and look at that. I think he may have lost one of his reins on the way through there, but didn't bother him. Such a talent. He's kept up a real good rhythm here. He's really come up the inside and jumped that across the angle. Unfortunately, it's cost him. Horse just misread. I think when he saw that the higher rail, wasn't so sure what to do, but he was well up on time at that stage. So comes across to this tall plank. You can see it, even looking at it from here on the camera, how imposing that jump is. Jumps to Global Champions Oxer, now straightens up and sits the horse up again. And 8 strides up to the last fence, gives him plenty of space. Lovely patient ride. Time would have been an excellent 71.53, but unfortunately that fence down. I think having had the fence down, he just throttled back a little bit. Had he been clear at that stage, I'm sure he would have gone into the lead on the clock anyway. So you just see here coming around the place how quick he is away from the back of the jump. Whoa, the horse just gives a little take. As I say, I think he just saw that back rail being set differently in the poles, and just that's what caused him just to hang up into the air a little bit. Something caught his attention. Yeah, Philip just looks away and gives that wry smile. He knows it. Hassan Senturk next into the ring. Avant Trois, just a 15-year-old by flying quite easy. Another horse you see with a sheepskin noseband and a little red ribbon on his brow band to try and indicate, you know, that he's a little bit horse shy in the warm-up arena. Yeah, light on his feet, real blood type. You can see real nimble. Great use for himself in this gelding. Watch what he does with his front legs and where he puts his knees. And then very clever behind. He really reads the jump. And again, one of these horses, if you watch his ears, you can see how he's listening. Yeah, that fence again, fence number 6 on that long distance. Just catches another rider out. Hard to keep the horse's balance. The minute you think that you have it organised, they just drift a little bit on you, just fall out through the bridle. So up on the 5 strides, big oxer. The horse is really light on his feet. You can see how he just pats the ground. Now just needs to sit him up here. Yeah, good technique. Just rolls over that tall vertical. Big oxer. You can get the idea of the width of the jump just from the size of the horse here. And again, this is another narrow fence from left to right. So last fence coming up. 1 fence down. It's going to keep him out of the prize money, I'm afraid. 76.02. Yeah, these guys are going to have to sit and wait now and see what's happening with the Grand Prix, and then see what plans they make for the rest of the weekend. Lovely horse. To see the ear right here just flicking a little bit. Ah, that was unlucky. I commented on how good that horse was in front previously. Yeah, he was really good on his front legs. Actually, he had started to come back down again when he just tapped that fence. Really unlucky. This is a combination we've seen plenty of. Beauville, Zed, NOP and Mikkel van der Vleuten. This is a 15-year-old by Bates. He's done lots and some more with it. He's been a phenomenal partnership, these two. Everything from Olympics all the way down. There's Dad just keeping an eye on things. Part of the Madrid in Motion team, jumped earlier on. Currently ranked number 16 in the world, and that takes a lot of doing to stay up in that. Anything up in the top 20 is extraordinary feat for any rider. Yeah, this is an opportunity now. There's as I say, this is a serious prize fund at stake here, and there's an opportunity here now to have a really good victory. Horse looks really fresh, ears pricked. Yeah, sets off with a real purpose. He's not hanging around here now. Gives this Oxer a little the respect that it deserves. No point in taking too much of a chance early. Gallops up to the combination, really brave. Whoa, needs to slow up a little bit. Horse is so nimble and careful off that front rail. And now this tall playoffs vertical. Oh, has a good rub. We see that later. It's still rocking in the cups. You may have a bit of luck. You may stay going now, Michael. That's good. Tall vertical now. Now the 5 strides up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holds him off the front rail. Oh, great riding. You can see how much work he had to do to keep the horse from getting on his head. Brilliant stuff now, but these two know each other so well. They've met all the biggest courses in the world. They've beaten the best course builders in the world. Third last fence, unfortunately, has caught him out. Worked really hard all the way up that back line, up the far side of the arena. Heading for home and just got caught out. Look at the time, 70.53. Unfortunately, that fence is very expensive. What a pity. Yeah, he went in, rode a real good percentage round, took plenty of chances. We see here, this is that tall plank. Comes across the fence a little bit. Yeah, rider never takes his eye off the jump. Looking for the next fence all the way. Yeah, looked like he had done everything. Really helped the horse off the front rail. Unfortunately, so many big efforts, one just didn't read it perfectly, and that's the cost now. If you're not foot perfect everywhere else, everywhere here now, you're going to pay the price. The poles are so light, the cups are so flat. It's a real challenge. Yeah, some of the riders still waiting to get up on their horses, haven't had to go to work yet. They're drawn later on this evening, so they can chill out and relax. Carla Pozzoli on Paris Panthers, on Fantasia de Buffer. This is a 10-year-old mare by Contendro. Beautiful type, you can see, lovely canter, really balanced. Setting out here to jump a clear round, I would say, by the approach to the first couple of jumps anyway. So let's see, is she going to wind it up now, or is she going to bank on a clear round, getting her into the Grand Prix? Now, this big Oxer, and then up to the combination. 6 strides up there, puts in the 7th. Now sits up. Oh, really good. You can see how the mare uses herself behind. Just shakes her head a little bit, and then just props in front of that tall vertical. The mare is so careful. Was probably a foot past the distance, but it didn't make any difference to her. Fantastic use of her body. Comes across the angle here, jumps for a little bit from left to right, and then gets wide for this tall plank. And now has to sit up. Drifted a little bit, so then she was able to use that space to her advantage. Very clever, great reaction. So Carla now just needs to get her back underneath her. Now you can see the mare just getting a little bit unruly now, but she's so careful when she gets to the jump. So good with her body. Watch how she just pats the ground at the takeoff. Now concentrate, don't shake your head too much. Unfortunately, you can see just as we went through the round, the mare, she's only a 10-year-old. She has a fantastic future. I think just maybe the atmosphere just got a little bit for her. There's a lot going on. Coming up that back line, you have a big screen over to the left. And I think if we see the mare again, you'll actually watch how she's tilted her head and she's looking out to the side a little bit. See the way she's looking left? I think she's just been looking at the screen there a little bit. So that's just what caught her out. Look, that's inexperience. She'll come back into the ring. You just get a view of the screen there in the background. I think that might be the cause of that problem. But look, she'll come back again. Max Cooner, KIC Cooley jumped the queue. Irish bred horse by Pacino formerly. So we know this horse very well. It's great to see an Irish bred horse in the hands of such a talented rider. Max ranked number 26 in the world. What these two have done an awful lot. They're really competitive. They know each other so well. So I think, don't blink. This is a contender for a podium place by my reckoning. Just needs to keep it all together now. Just get these combinations out of the way, and Yeah, you can see he's brave up this line, and then look, great control, really slows the horse up to the end. Then that makes the turn back even easier. Now gives the horse a chance to read the jump. You can see has a little rub on the front rail, but it's lower on the front, higher on the right. He uses that to his advantage. So lovely, kept a brilliant rhythm up to that 5-stride distance up to the double for Oxer vertical, and now doesn't want to be risky here. Yeah, holds him off that top rail, that really light plank. Now this narrow Oxer is plenty wide, but it's narrow. Unfortunately, that front rail has gone again. Jumps the second last fence coming up. Good time, but another horse with a fence down. 72.15. Clear rounds are hard to come by here this evening. Just watch this, comes around the corner. You can see horse is just sticking his tongue out a little bit. Yeah, just bumps that front rail, unfortunately. Yeah, on the way up, you can see the studs in the shoes, little bit of support. Yeah, disappointment up on the kiss and cry. Yeah, looks back trying to say, well, you know, these two are an experienced partnership. Be disappointed. Giacomo Cassidy and Marabella Duchaby. This is a 13-year-old mare by Elvis Terput. Oh, unfortunately, the third fence down is going to make it a long journey home. And you can see he turned up really tight to the next fence, so was obviously in here to try and get a result. Yeah, has to think of the Grand Prix qualification now, and a nice 4 faults might be enough to get in. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of jumping to be done here yet. So he's going to stay going. Nice and neat back. Again, the opportunity for these young riders to get into this ring and get that experience is incredible. So this is a nice mare. You can see looks very intelligent. Ears pricked the whole time, looking for the job, trying to read what the challenge is. What has she got to do? Very clever there again. Really light across the ground. Oh, that's super. Last fence coming up. This is a really nice mare. I think this is a mare we're going to see plenty of in the future with this partnership as they build and get more experience at this level. That looked really, really smart. Yeah, an unfortunate fence down. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong man. That's Kevin Stout that's in the ring. He has all the experience. That's a 9-year-old by Vigo. So that explains a lot for me. Yeah, that's some unfortunate fence down for him. Kevin ranked number 15 in the world. So my apologies there. So next into the ring as an individual, Cian O'Connor. This is a 12-year-old gelding. Iron Man is by Charisma Z out of a Mr. Blue mare. Has a Zangazide breeding. So Cian, as you say, one of the stalwarts of the Irish team set up. Olympic medalist, lots of experience, and now really committed to these competitions. Really enjoying the competitive side. Has put together a lovely string of horses. Rode a really nice horse this morning, Genghis Khan, in the first competition. Iron Man is really smart. Lovely technique. And Cian, very technically proficient, loves these technical tracks. Does a lot of coaching, mentors a lot of top-class young riders. Young Max Waxman is here. So when it comes to figuring out these technical tracks, there's no better man. You know, he'll have walked the course a couple of times. He'll know these distances, and then he'll apply that to the horse that he's riding and the occasion and what he wants to achieve. This is very neat. Not the quickest round, but very much up there. Clear round. Will definitely secure his qualification for the Grand Prix, but might also get him a ribbon here today. Yeah, supports his horse, keeps him off that fence now. The last Oxer, you can see Cian really makes the adjustments, gets out nice and wide, gets him straight, gives him enough space. Not the quickest round, but he'll be happy with that. Puts him into third place, 78.55. So, clear round, gives his horse a pat. That was really well done. You say it's only a 12-year-old, So they're going to build and build on this. Yeah, I looked very comfortable around there. You can see Micklin bridle on him. Snaffle with what looks like a plastic centerpiece. Yeah, another horse with a little ribbon on the front of his bridle. So nice and simple bridle setup, keeps all the control he needs. Obviously the horse is very sensitive. So Michael Grieve in Coromant, 10-year-old by Conor Doblinski. Pops the first fence, doesn't look like he's going in too much of a hurry. Again, obviously a 10-year-old, so trying to work out at what stage of training these horses are at. Yeah, big jumping horse again. Look at the simple snaffle bridle, plain noseband. Lovely, nice way of going. As said by Conor Doblinski, really popular stallion, really athletic horse. Just moves up to that, and you can see how the horse just sits back on his hocks and really comes off that front rail. Now, like I say, lovely and tall, jumps this fence in the middle, a little bit from right to left, and then squares up for the tall vertical. Oh, has a little rub on the plank and a really late fall. Thought he had actually got away with that. Ah, that's very he'll be disappointed. Now, keep it together for this vertical. I think this is a horse for the future. I won't be surprised if we see an awful lot of this at the very top level. To pop around like this as a 10-year-old is an extraordinary. This horse is showing all the ability to be a real world-class horse in the future. And just pops the last fence. Look at the technique. If we see the plank again, I think he was almost 2-3 strides away from it before it fell down. 77.40 puts him in 13th place at the moment. Yeah, you can shake his head. His horse was outstanding, but that's the sport. Look, it's plain loose ring snaffle. Watch, gets away with it. He's gone. We don't even see it fall. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it goes. It's cruel sport. Next up, you got to concentrate on the positives. You got a beautiful horse. That was unlucky. Yeah, Baz. Mooring's in next. Ipsahar is a 12-year-old stallion. So, not on a team. Again, so jumping as an individual, looking for some prize money in a Grand Prix qualification. So, sets out on a nice rhythm from 1 to 2. The horse really backs off this. So, yeah, he's neat here back to the big oxer. 6 strides up there, really well executed. Needs to whoa a little bit. Horse is awfully athletic. You see how he just skips out over that big oxer at the end. Now, don't get too far in front. Yeah, very good over the vertical. Now, he's going a little bit wider to the oxer, to this, what we call a drunken oxer. And again, very clever. It's the way it's set up. You can jump it from right to left on the lowest parts. Cuts the corner up the inside. Rolls over that tall vertical. And then in on the 5. Lovely light contact, and then just supports the horse as he comes off the ground. Needs to give him all the support he needs there at that tall Longines plank. He's very neat here. I just want to keep the horse concentrating now. He's very brave. This won't be a problem for him. And now just get out, get straight, don't get caught on the inside and run out of room. Really well done. Nice time, 73.97. Clear round. That puts him into the lead. Yeah, he was very neat all the way through. He didn't waste any time. Horse is very quick across the ground. He's used that naturally. Again, you can see loose ring snaffle, just a little cross noseband, but you see how fast the horse is across the ground. Ears pricked all the time, and there is a really good example. Doesn't waste any time. Lands running, lets the horse flow in front of him. Yeah, that's what he does when he gets to the jump. He just comes off the front rail. Really athletic, but that's what allows him to be so fast. Now, trademark yellow jacket, Yuri Mansour into the ring. Riding Q-Have Alphonse Santo Antonio. This is an 18-year-old by Aramats. Loads of experience. Been around. Yuri ranked number 44 in the world. Another naturally quick rider. He wants to get these first couple of fences under. Yeah, and you can see drops his shoulder and moves through the corner very quickly. That's always a little bit of a telltale sign for me when you watch these riders if they're in a hurry. Moves up on the 6, now sits really quiet, keeps him balanced, and again watch, he lets the horse float up the distance, and now his shoulder just comes back, and again a lovely horse just comes off the front rail. Again, he's really quick through the corner. You can see, puts his eye on the jump, again comes from right to left, comes up on that in 7 strides. That's so well done. Some of them are getting up there on 9. Yuri's just left out 2 strides on that compared to some of the riders. Now, how brave is he going to be here? Yeah, there's experience. Just sits up. Oh, yeah, needs a tall fence. Sat up, he'll be disappointed there. You know, he had done everything right, just taking a little bit of time, sat the horse up, but unfortunately, the message didn't get through to Alphonse. He wasn't listening enough, just dived at the top plank. Look at the time, 73.40, puts him in 11th place at this stage, but with a clear round, he would have been well up there. So, Philippe Rosier, this is a horse we actually saw this morning. Jumped in the team, he's part of the Saint-Tropez Pirates. They're going particularly well. So this is a 12-year-old mare by Conor Dobolinski. Yeah, she's done plenty of the Global Champions League. Yeah, been really successful and really contributed to the team effort so far. So now she competes as an individual. So Philippe has an opportunity here now to qualify for the Grand Prix, but also to try and get himself on a podium finish here. Starts off very nicely. Drifts a little bit wider on that maybe than he would have liked, and that might have been the cause of that back rail, unfortunately. Oh, miscommunication moving up there. I think those fences are difficult. If it gets a little bit, if you don't have full focus coming up there, they're hard to get your eyes on and get the horse to really focus on. Mare probably just got a little bit distracted, having had that back rail on the Oxer. So I think Philippe is just going to go and pop that vertical back behind us now, and he's going to call it a day. Yeah, the mare, look, these horses are so sensitive. Something happened there. She didn't quite put her eye on the combination, was my quick read of it. Had the back rail down, just drifted a little bit around the corner on him. So, yeah, there's no point in going looking for trouble. He knows today's competition has gone past him. So we watch it here. Look, she just gets away a little bit out through her shoulder, and then just clips it with the tops of her toes. And then just throws her head up in the air a little bit. I don't think she actually really saw where she was going there. Was probably a little bit distracted by the fact she had the fence down. And yeah, she'll be back, don't worry. Just a misunderstanding, I think. So, Janine Sanvan in next. Dexter de Kerglen, 12-year-old stallion by My Lord Cathargo. She's part of the Monaco Comets team. Supported, powered by the Iron Dames. So she was out this morning in the first team leg of the league. Yes, this looks like she's being competitive. Unfortunately, that front rail, I think that water tray just distracted him for a second. Good through the combination. Lovely big scopy horse. And gets high in the air. So she gets him run down the distance here now, and you can just see how clever he is. Yeah, just didn't read the water tray and just got distracted by it. Whoa, stands off that a long way and comes up the inside. Now, just wants to keep it together now and keep coming home. This is a big guy. He looks like he's a little bit distracted in the ring. She has to put a lot of leg on him and just keep him from looking around the place. But when he gets there, he's a really good jumper. He just caught that behind, but I think this is more of a training round now for her. So get him into the ring, and with the noise, the music, the screens, the whole lot, he just has to concentrate on his job. And yeah, it keeps it nice and organised, and she'll finish up really well. I think, yeah, he got in there and he just got a little bit distracted. Janine just had to get her leg on and push him to the fence. You can see he's got a red ribbon in his tail. Again, just to warn the other riders just to stay away from him a little bit. Doesn't want to be look, just gets really high, then just catches that front rail with his hind leg. Just watch it here. You can just see, just hooks it up with his hind leg and pushes it out of the way. Probably could have just brought his leg through and not actually had that fence down. Yeah, the guys will go back and have a look at it and see. But he finished up fine, jumped the big red oxer here at the last, not a bother on him. So I think she put it well behind it. I think Janine did a good job there, just managing him after that and giving him the confidence and getting him home. He's a 12-year-old, but sometimes the Italians can just overthink things a little bit. But that was well done, job well done. Now, another rider we saw in the first leg of the league, rides for Madrid in Motion. Has had a phenomenal couple of years. Had an unlucky fence down this morning, if my memory serves me right, or this afternoon. She rides Helix du Seigneur. This is a 12-year-old gelding by Kirby du Seigneur. Yeah, whoa, backs up for the combination. This fella's keen. Now she let him run up here and watch, and she's just going to sit up and keep his balance. Really well done. Now, gone a little bit wider than some that we've seen earlier on, but jumps this across the fence again, and now just wants to sit up and get square for this. Don't let him get twisted in his body, and that allows him to put the power on and get a really nice jump. Moves up on the 5. He's so athletic, it's like a little rubber ball, this guy. Lovely little horse, really light on his feet, but I love what he does when he gets to the jump. Just sits back onto his hocks and then goes high. Yeah, unfortunately on this occasion didn't go high enough for the front rail. Last fence coming up. 76.8, one fence down. Yeah, foot perfect everywhere else, just one place where he just got a little bit at the jump. Just didn't give himself the chance to get back off it enough. Really good there on that 1.60 meter vertical. And this you can see here, he gets high enough, he gets wide enough, and just misjudged the front rail by, what, 2 centimeters. Really difficult. So, last of our individuals to go. Willem Grave on Pretty Woman, Valpardie, 10-year-old mare by Vigo, that's out of a Bamaka de Muse mare. Another stalwart of the Netherlands national team. Rides a lot of horses, currently ranked number 71 in the world. Jumping here as an individual. Now pops into the combination. Really organised. Mare's extraordinary use of herself behind, really extravagant. You'll watch how she flicks her back end. Now he's very tight back here, really brave. Yeah, uses her technique and her scope, and then comes up the inside line. Pops this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, water tray behind. Just a little bit low. Now, 3 fences from home. Had looked very neat, was reasonably quick, had turned up quite neat and tidy to a couple of oxers, so wouldn't have been too far off the pace. What a pity. Has a little rub on the last fence. 73.75. Puts her into 13th place. So, fence down, unfortunately. So, looking back now, currently in the lead we have Baz Moorings on a clear round 73.97. Niels Brussels was first man in, 75.17. He looked like he was going to make it easy for everybody. Olivia, then Cian O'Connor, and then back down the order down to 21. Okay, so leaderboard: Baz Moorings in the lead, Niels Brussels second, Oliver Philipparts in third, Cian O'Connor in fourth place, Kevin Jochems in fifth, Mikkel van der Vloed, and then in seventh place So they're the top 6 that we have at the moment. We're just going to have a small break. People are sitting in the stands. You just got a little bit breezy here again, so grab a jacket, get a cup of coffee. So we'll be back to you in a few minutes. Look forward to it. Welcome back. We're in Valkenswaard. We've got the second round of the GCL competition. In reverse order of merit, the 16 teams are coming back. We're going to have the Monaco Comets will be first out, followed by the New York Empire. We're here in Valkenswaard. It's round number 10 of the 15 rounds of the GCL. It's a fantastic competition. It's getting hot now. We've had a first qualifier this morning, so they've all jumped this morning. There's first 2 in each of the teams. Now we're back in reverse order of merit. It's been a fantastic sport so far. It's really thrown up some surprises. Those that were last are now first. Those that were first were now in the middle. It's all to play for. There's 30 points to the winner, and this is going to be really interesting. Previous winners: Reisenbeck International, they won it in 24. Saint-Tropez Pirates in 23. 22 was Berlin Eagles. 21 the London Knights, and in 19 the New York Empire. Some of those teams are back. Reisenbeck are in a good position. They're going to look to come out and put the pressure on everybody else. The winning team are going to get 30 points for their troubles. 25 and all the way down. The overall lead is Valkenswaard United. They're in here on 193 points. So 5 points behind them, we've got Cannes Stars. Shanghai Swans on 186. Then a little bit of a drop down to the Prague Lions. They're on 142 points. Madrid in Motion, 139. 136 to the next. Down the bottom, though, Paris Panthers. They're on 70. They're in 17th place. After this morning's shake-ups, they're in pole position. So that ladies' team are really looking to come this afternoon now and follow the through. Let's have a little look at the highlights from round 1, and that just put everything in context for us. So, Marlon Bayard-Johnson coming up to shoot. So, Paris Panthers, here we go. They were first into the ring this morning, and they were foot perfect all the way through. Alexa was their first up and was inspirational. She's so motivated. She got stuck into this round, and she really made it happen for herself. Final horse floor there was brilliant. Celine came in second, and she followed on from her teammate. Horse she'd got from her husband, she took the opportunity and again was foot perfect all the way through. They were the first 2 riders in. They made it look easy, but it wasn't anything but. Madrid in Motion, another ladies team, powered by Fence Down for Kim, and then perfect all the way home after that. So 2 fences down for her, I'm afraid. On went Sarah Farr. Combination here. Big jumping. Shanghai Swans. Ben Mayer, Harlander. That was the last fence. Max Kuhner. Valkenswaard United. Led out by Hans-Dieter Dreyer. Supported by Gilles Thomas, Reisenbeck International. Christian Kulkuk, George jumped around for a fence down. Maximilian Weisbert and Zucchero had a clear round, so they're coming in on just 4 faults. So all to play for this evening. The standings after round 1. So Paris Panthers, as we said, they've come from being in 7th place. They're in the lead. They're on 0 penalties. Can Star 0. Scandinavian Vikings are on 0. Then Rome Gladiators, Shanghai Swans, Prague Lions, Valkenswaard United, Reisenbeck International all carry 4 faults coming through. In 9th place we have on 8 faults we have the Mexico Amigos. They're joined on 8 by Istanbul Warriors, Stockholm Hearts, Doha Falcons, Saint-Tropez Pirates and the Basel Cosmopolitans. So there's not a lot in it jumps wise, but if you have your nose in front you really want to keep it. Michael van der Vleuten is going to sit out this evening. And now let's have a look at this course. We're starting in the opposite direction from this morning's. They say fabulous arena. So we're starting coming away from the pocket down by the VIP stand. So we jump vertical there. So 1.60 meter with 16 jumps. So we start here over this tall vertical, swing right-handed to a tall vertical again, to an oxer in the second fence. Then we've a related distance, 6 strides down from 2 to 3, then back left-handed to a big oxer with a water tray, and you'll notice the unusual colouring of these poles. Difficulty for the horses and riders to focus their eye on. They don't want to go too wide there, they want to respect the water tray. Bending line up to the combination. So it's a vertical in, then 2 strides. So this vertical, 1.55 meter. Then we've 2 strides here, 11.6 meters to another tall vertical, 1.55 meter again, and then 8.1 meters. Front rail is standing at 1.53, and it's a full 1.60 meter wide. Then this very difficult line all the way up to a very tall Prague Playoffs tall vertical. That has to be 1.60 meter, and a full roll back to the Longines oxer. This is what we call a drunken oxer. So the poles on the front pole is higher on the right, lower on the left, and the back pole is the opposite way around. Then a very bending line across to a very tall plank, 1.60 meter, fence number 8. And then we have a bending line up to the double. 7 strides, and they just have to get straight, oxer in, and then particularly to note here, 1.55 going in, 1.60 meter wide. We've 2 strides in here, 11.5 meters, but the water tray is at the back of this 1.60 meter vertical. So quite open, but that little water tray, just any horse a little bit green, they'll get their attention. Bending left end up by the other stand at the far end of the arena, 1.60 meter, full up, the Longines really light plank. Back around, we're coming back across the arena to the 11th fence. It's an oxer with a bending line to this clock fence with the gate. Reminiscent of the Style Tops entrance. Second last fence, and then a bending line home to fence number 13, and oxer heading into the far corner. 16 jumping efforts, very technical. Couple of opportunities. There are places where the riders can be brave and come up short if they want, running tight, particularly the 3rd fence. They can come back to that oxer on an inside line, and the 7th fence after jumping the tall vertical, they can be really brave there as well if they want, and the way the fence is set up is encouraging them to come across from right to left. Our first team up will be Monaco Comets. Second in, we have the New York Empire, Bertram Allen, Scott Brash. Then in we have the Basel Cosmopolitans. We've got Geraldine Stroom and Andreas Schuh. 4th in, Saint-Tropez Pirates. Max Watchman steps in. Dwar Sebre is the second man up. Max is stepping up for this one. Then we have the Doha Falcons, Guillaume Cassid and Bassam Mohammed, back with Rocket Man. So change up on this team as well. Then we have the Stockholm Hearts, Marlon Bayard Johnson on our HMN India. We can't wait to see that. Nicola Philipparts, he stays in the team. Istanbul Warriors, Henry von Eckermann, Simon Deleste. They swap routes this time. They swap positions. They were the other way around the first time. Mexico Amigos, they're in number 8. Carlos Hanquillero, Eduardo Pereira Menendez. They're next to go. 19, going to the business end. Reisenbeck International. They're going to want to put pressure on the other teams. Maximilian Weissput starts out. Christian Kukov takes up second run. Valkenswaard, the Valkenswaard United team, 10 to go. Hans-Dieter Dreyer, he leads out. Gilles Thomas to follow up. Prague Lions, Fernando Martinez Sommer, Peter DeVos. 12th in, Shanghai Swans, Ben Mayer, Daniel Deiser. Followed by Rome Gladiators, Emmanuel Gardiano, Roy Van Beck, back again. They were in this morning in the first leg. 14th team, the Scandinavian Vikings, Amanda Lebrand and Jörg Vreeling. Amanda is coming in for the second leg. 15 to go, the Cannes Stars, powered by Iron Dame, Sophie Hinners, Julia Martinez Margoy. Lovely pairing. Then finally to go, second last to go. Final team in, Paris Panthers, Alexa Ferreira, Celine Sarber de Mendes. It's all to play for. First team is in the arena. That's the last year's winners. Manager giving out the final instructions, I'm sure. Monaco Comets are first up. We have a change from the first team. So Edwina Tops Alexander is going to start off with her trusty pal and partner, fellow Castlefield. He's a 15-year-old by Jetem Flamenco. These have competed all over the world. They're a fantastic partnership, and I'm sure if I was the team manager, I'd be looking to send them out in this position as well. They've jumped a lot of clear rounds. They know each other so well. So we're going to have a nice percentage round here. Not going too fast. This is a really clever little horse. 15 years of age. He's a proper character. He knows his way around. Has a great technique. Covers the ground really well, reads the fences particularly well, and as I say, as a partnership, they've been at this a long time. They know each other so well. He's a really intelligent horse. You watch how he runs down, he looks for the jump, and then you can see him just really concentrate on it. This is super round. So they started off at the Monaco Comets. They come into this competition in 12th place. They have 99 points so far, so they really want to try and score well today and get themselves some points and move themselves up the order. Remember, we've 17 teams in this competition, 16 of which will come back for the playoffs. So every point is going to count. There's only 5 legs left and there's no discard legs, so you've really got to use every opportunity. This is a great start. Last fence coming up. Oh, fantastic effort. Well done. Now, what a lovely little horse fellow Castlefield has been. He's been a fantastic servant for Edwina over the years. And when the pressure's on, you can really see how he concentrated. I watched him in here yesterday in the warm-up class. He popped a few fences and he looked in great form. He was spring heel popping around the place, but that was a superb performance. You watch how he really concentrated. It was a superb partnership job. They really worked well with each other. So great start for them. 77-27 the time. That will come into play later on, I'm sure. But clear rounds is what we're looking for now at the beginning. So next up. So Yali comes in on La Perle de Heflik. This is a 14-year-old mare. So she started out this morning. So they kept the big guns till last. Sorry, she rode this morning, but on a different horse and jumped around for one fence down. So she's done a lot for the Comets this year. She was in Paris, she was in Cannes, she was in Madrid. So as I say, they're going to look to try and get some points. Down the combination, Oxford coming out. So really neat. Knows that clear rounds have been difficult to come by this weekend, so riding a really clever percentage round here. Horse is really good behind. You can see how she gives that little extra flick with her back end. Really well. Moves up to this plank. That's very brave. So she's keeping this really flowing forward. Needs to just sit up a little bit now. There's a couple of big fences just coming close to home. And you can just see how she sits up with her body, comes back with her shoulder, gets the horse off his front end on, get the horse sitting on his back end. And now, wow, what a fantastic performance. They've come in, they've taken on the course builder and posted a double clear. So, team total. So they bring forward their 20 from this.
What a performance that is from the Monaco Comets, powered by the Iron Dames, to start GCL round 2 with a double clear. I'm not too sure how high they will finish up on the overall standings after tonight with the 20 penalties in round 1. But 20 penalties in round 1 has been heavily negated with that double clear. I would not be surprised if they move and climb up quite a few positions because of that outstanding double clear from Mitlineo and Tops Alexander. A great start to GCL round 2. If you want to join us for the rest of GCL round 2, stage 10 live from Valkenswaard, sign up for a GCTV live pass and come watch the rest of it here in the Tops International Arena.